This is 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News at 5.
Now or never.
Very
Echo!
Yeah, we are live outside McConnell Talbert Stadium. The Rockin' R is behind us on the stadium. That means whose home game?
The Warner Robins Demons
Yes, it is the home game
here. Northside playing. Oh, this is the City Classic. This is the one they come out for.
Yes, they do. Second year in a row, they've started off with one another because they're no longer in the same classifications. So this year, for the second straight season, they kick off against one another. There you see the Warner Robins cheerleaders right there. Let's talk a little bit about the teams. Now, Warner Robins, 3-7 a year ago. They did make the playoffs. Key factor, 18 of 22 starters back. The other 4 starters transferred from Houston County. That includes the Fromm twins, Cody Reed, and running back Javen West.
Yeah, some big changes coming in for the Demons right there. And, of course, some familiar faces for people in Houston County in general.
Yes.
Northside, 8-2 on the regular season, eliminated against Tucker in the 5A semifinals, replacing 9 of 11 starters on offense.
Yeah, that's a lot of folks. Now, history-wise, Warner Robins has dominated this series. 29-24, though. It's a lot closer than it used to be, Ben.
Absolutely. Now, Northside has won 13 of the last 16 meetings. The last 2... of course, they've been a little bit painful probably for the Demons. They were blowouts, 55-3. Last year, the year before, 58-14.
All right, players to watch. I'll start off here with Northside. I'll take Big Blue. They always have good running backs. That's one of the positions they're always strong at, and this year, no exception. Daniel Niels, 5'9", 160 pounds. Backup last year as a sophomore, still rushed for over 500 yards, 7 touchdowns. Coach Kevin Kinsler says he showed a lot of growth towards the end of the season, but then got hurt in the playoffs. But Daniel Neal says he is good to go and ready to play tonight.
All right, here we are. Warner Robins, Javen West, the running back, 5'8", 155-pound senior, transferred from Houston County. Maybe the most versatile player in Houston County, running back and receiver. As many receiving yards out of the backfield as rushing, 1,200 total yards in just 10 games, 11 touchdowns. Now expect him to be a key option for the Demons on offense this season.
Yeah, so you kind of come in with the unknown factor when you have 2 new quarterbacks. So I'm sure fans on both sides are anxious to see how the guy who takes the snaps is going to play for their respective teams, and therein could lie the key to who wins this game.
Well, and the good news is we talked about for Warner Robins with our Jones Zone picks. A lot of people think the eclipse means they're going to win this year.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
We'll wait and see how that plays out. Well, taking back our city seems to be the theme, talking about the Demons. That's what they're coming into this game. Our Jonathan Perez has more on that. Let's go over to him.
That's right, guys. This year on Tailgate 13, we're starting a new segment. It's called JP's Extra Points. Basically, what we're going to do is bring you something new.
You don't have that mixed minus?
About the team, about the school. Right now, this is a big matchup for both teams. I'm going to tell you something extra about the T-shirts. Warner Robins has come up with these shirts. On the front, they say, "We ready," but on the back, check it out. It says, "Taking back our city." It's been a while. It's been a couple of years since they've won. 2013 is the last time you guys won. Man, you guys weren't even in high school, right? When's the last time you guys won?
2013. That was back when I was in 8th grade.
All right, so this guy was in 8th grade. He couldn't even drive yet. That's the last time they won. But hey, they are ready to take back the city. Guys, are you guys ready to take back the city? Oh, my God. They are ready, guys. Back to you, man. Back to you guys.
Fired up over there.
Taking back our city. All right, now, another key factor anytime you're talking about high school football, even though they got turf back here, field turf. The weather, and right now, Ben, things are looking pretty good.
They are looking good for right now, and in 2 hours, it should be even better by the time we get into kickoff for these games. Let's show you what's going on with the current situation. We're going to show you the sky cam over Warner Robins, and what you're going to see is a lot of heat here when we pop up the current number. 90s. The dew point doing its thing, so it feels like 102.
Yes, it does.
For the heat index. Let's go on now to what's going on for tonight. Well, it's going to be football weather in August, exactly how you would imagine. A tiny rain chance. We're going to be looking at low 70s by the time we get into tomorrow morning, but it's going to be very hot during the game tonight. Let's go into the current temperatures and the current heat index numbers. And we'll look at that now. You can see 90s. Look at Cordele, 99. Hot stuff, 97 in McRae. We're going to go to the heat index numbers, and you can see triple digits everywhere. So it's going to be hot on the band, the cheerleaders, the players, everybody. Doppler Max HD is quiet, except for some storms that are south of where we are right now. More on that will be coming up in just a little bit.
All right, time now to toss back into the newsroom. Lori Johnson is in the studio to bring us the news headlines of the day. Lori.
Thanks so much, fellas. Go ahead and take a water break. Here are today's top stories. President Trump agreed to let go of White House chief strategist Steve Bannon. Now, the move follows weeks of speculation that Bannon wouldn't last much longer in the administration. Wei Xiaojing has the details from the White House.
We'll see what happens with Mr. Bannon.
That was earlier this week, but Friday, the White House announced Chief Strategist Steve Bannon is out. The press secretary issued a statement saying White House Chief of Staff John Kelly and Steve Bannon have mutually agreed today would be Steve's last day. We are grateful for his service and wish him the best. Bannon, a right-wing nationalist who used to run Breitbart.com, helped President Trump get elected, a fact the president downplayed on Tuesday.
Mr. Bannon came on very late. You know that. I went through 17 senators, governors, and I won all the primaries. Mr. Bannon came on very much later than that.
From the start, Bannon reportedly clashed with Jared Kushner, a senior White House advisor and the president's son-in-law, as well as National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster. Sources tell CBS News that new Chief of Staff John Kelly was eager to clear out what he considered internal West Wing rivalries. But Bannon also had the president's ear, and he used that influence to sway policy decisions. The president is still considering Bannon's plan to send private contractors to Afghanistan instead of U.S. soldiers. He traveled to Camp David Friday to discuss whether to send more U.S. troops or withdraw completely.
We are coming very close to a decision, and I anticipate it in the very near future.
Bannon becomes the 8th senior White House official let go since President Trump took office.
Steve Bannon gave 2 interviews this week where he complained about people within the White House by name, including Gary Kahn, the National Economic Council Director. And he publicly contradicted the administration's stance on North Korea, saying a military solution isn't feasible. Governor Nathan Deal visited Macon today to recognize students at Mercer's School of Medicine. University leaders honored the first 25 students to receive the Physicians for Rural Georgia scholarships. In exchange for having 85% of their tuition covered for all 4 years, they commit at least 4 years of full-time medical practice in a rural Georgia county. It's all funded through $35 million from the state through an agreement from Medicare and Medicaid in 2016. Governor Deal says keeping doctors in the state is important for health care in Georgia.
It gives them a financial incentive to return to a smaller community, whether it's the one they grew up in or similarly situated rural and remote areas of our state.
It was probably going to be at least a 30-minute drive, and sometimes, in a serious situation, you don't have that kind of time. So it's really important to have doctors close to you.
Many of the students in the first class called Nathan Deal Scholars are also from rural communities in Georgia. The scholarship program accepts new applicants each fall. The search continues for safe and certified Eclipse glasses here in Central Georgia.
It's several weeks now, and every time I think I'm on a lead, I go to that business and they're all sold out.
I'm very desperate. I ran to work and left work and came here because I found out this was the only place that had them left. So we're very desperate. We really need these glasses for our party.
And the Party store in Warner Robins off Watson Boulevard received a new shipment of Eclipse glasses this morning. The store ordered 3,000 sets and they're selling them for $11.95. Stores like Walmart, Kroger, and Lowe's appear to be sold out in our area, but there are places giving out free glasses the day of the event. The Ocmulgee National Monument will have 600 pairs of glasses available for free on Monday. The University of Georgia will be giving away up to 13,000 glasses at Sanford Stadium on Monday afternoon starting at 1 o'clock. And the Warner Robins Museum of Aviation will host an event starting at 12:30 Monday afternoon where organizers will give away glasses while supplies last. Still to come on Eyewitness News at 5, we rejoin Ben and Frank again in Warner Robins as Tailgate 13 continues. Stay with us.
Albert Stadium, Warner Robins and Northside, a little over 2 hours away. I want to thank all the folks at Warner Robins. They're the home team. That's why they are behind us this year. Last year it was Northside. Yeah. All right, big matchup coming up tonight. Now, in high school sports, coaches are always having to replace players. They graduate, they transfer, they move on. That is the case for both sides tonight. New quarterbacks starting under center for the very first time.
Now, Jaden Daniels will start for Northside, taking over for state championship quarterback Tobias Oliver, who was fantastic last year, while Dylan Fromm aims to leave his mark on Warner Robins. Jonathan Perez breaking down how tonight is just the start of a new era.
It's a lot to fill in. I'm filling some big shoes.
Jaden Daniels knows it won't be easy to replace this man under center for the Northside Eagles. Tobias Oliver tallied almost 3,000 yards last season, leading the Eagles to a deep playoff run. But now Oliver's gone, and a new era is beginning.
Jaden, I don't think one realizes, how good he can be.
Daniels gets to start at the helm for Northside on Friday night, with a team ready to compete.
I think some of the other guys will rally around him.
He's one of 9 first-time starters on offense for the Eagles. Even though he has a different number than Tobias, their styles are similar.
His ability to run the ball, but he can throw it pretty good.
Now flip over to the opposite sideline.
He's basically a veteran in our offense.
A veteran who's going to start his very first varsity game Friday night. Dylan Fromm is a new face under center for the Warner Robin Demons. His teammates already see him as much more.
He's a great leader. He tells you when you're wrong.
Fromm might be on a new team, but he'll have some familiar targets, with his brother at receiver and his former teammate Javen West behind him in the backfield.
We spent a lot of time and work over the summer. It's truly, amazing just to see what they can do.
And that's exactly what we'll see on Friday night, as each quarterback
they think we're not going to beat them.
Aims to kick off a new era on the right foot.
We're trying to get a W every single week we play.
Jonathan Perez, 13 WMAZ, Eyewitness Sports.
Hey, here we are, looking at the back of the Butler Auto Storm Lab, where it is brutally hot. It's August football, 96. The heat index now showing 3 dashes. It was showing 102 a minute ago. It's scorching, folks. We have the 7-day, and we're going to look at the radar for tonight. That's after this. We are live at McConnell-Talbert Stadium, kicking off football Friday night, our first tailgate show of the season. We're here at the Butler Auto Storm Lab. We have the captains of the cheerleading squad here. Tell me your names.
Courtney Williams,
yeah.
Emily Young,
yeah.
Carson Ratley, Brittany Brown.
Okay, so what is one of the, in there like a Warner Robins, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, isn't that one of these? Okay, hold on a second. What's your name?
Bryce Marlin.
Bryce, do you have some sticks? Okay, we're going to do the Warner Robins, dun, 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 dun. Okay, ready? You ready? We'll do this, you do that.
Warner Robins! Warner Robins! Warner Robins!
Oh, I could do this all day long. Wonderful. We are enjoying tailgate action out here, and it is hot. It's a little on the steamy side. The humidity, it's playing around. Let's show you the Skycam shot right here. And you look outside and see what is going to be intense heat. We have 95 that feels like 102. The dew point 71. Man, the humidity. All right, let's look at what's going on tonight. We're going to be looking at a tiny rain chance if we see anything at all. Otherwise, it should be clear for most spots. Now, let me show you what's going on with the temperature. This is a big story. You can see 90s everywhere, near 100 in places like Cordele. The heat index, off the charts again today. Triple digits all over the place. And as we get into Doppler Max HD, what you're going to see is a pretty quiet slate for most spots until you get into southern Houston County, heading into Bleckley County. We have some stuff that was in Lawrence County earlier, also Dooley heading into Pulaski, but this is still only in the 5 o'clock hour. Most of this should get out of here as we go through the next couple of hours, hopefully in time for game time. Let's see what Future View has to say about it. And you can see that things continue to move off toward the east, again, hoping that it'll clear. And then a rare dry front. Don't want to call it a cold front because it's going to be very hot this weekend, but it may bring the humidity down some. But it's still going to be very hot. And as we go through Sunday afternoon, maybe a stray shower storm, mainly southeast Georgia, and then we'll get back into it again on Monday as well. So what we're going to do is take a look at the dew points. I believe that is next, because it shows where the humidity, when the light green comes in and these lower numbers come in, that's the effect of that front. Again, not a cold front, but a dry front. So it may dry the air a little bit, but still going to be incredibly hot. Let's hot and button on over to the 7-day if we can, Pat, and show us what's going on with that. We're going to see heat all weekend long, but again, if the humidity's down a little bit, it may not feel as bad, especially at night. It could be a nice break. So far, the eclipse day looking good with partly cloudy. It'll be hot as well. All right, let's get fired up. We have more of Tailgate 13 live from McConnell Talbert Stadium right after this break. I missed.
We are back. Suzanne Lawler's making sure they lead the cheers, and they're doing a very nice job. This is an enthusiastic group. That's what you love about high schoolers. They have a lot of energy.
You can't think of a much better way to kick the season off than with this matchup. Great student sections.
All right, so let's see. We've talked about the players, talked a little bit about the coaches. You've done some stuff with the cheerleaders and the band.
Yep.
One other important element of high school football is
the grub.
Tailgating.
Yes.
And amped up himself, Mr. Marvelous Marvin James is here to join us with a little food talk for Football Friday night.
Whoop.
Good Marvelous Friday, guys. We're in the parking lot of McConnell Talbert Stadium, a.k.a. the MAC, and we're here at the tent of the class of 2007 from Warner Robins High School. Let's take a look at what they got going on at their tailgate, Mike, with the camera. We got some ribs, we got some sauces, some Roger Wood sauces right there, and they got some wings, I believe, over here. They got it going on. Right now, we're going to talk with the class president of 2007, Mr. Brian Buford. Talk to us a little bit about what your plans are for this weekend.
Yeah, so we just came out here and wanted to have a good time and have a tailgate, and tomorrow we'll be at Rigby's and we're throwing the 80s party. So we just all want to just come together and have a good time and just, talk about old times. That's what we're here for.
Good stuff. Brian is not only the class president, he's a former player, former football captain, linebacker. So you got a prediction for us today?
I think Warner Robins will win, and that's coming from the all-time tackle leader from Warner Robins. Let's get it.
Absolutely, and Brian is also a former junior journalist with us. Back to you guys.
All right, welcome. Thank you, Marv. Marv had a good assignment today. Marv's going to be covering the game, though, tonight, too. So
I would love to be on the grub assignment.
Yeah, I know. Bringing the highlights. All right, much more to come. It's Tailgate 13 live, McConnell Talbert Stadium. What's the matchup, Ben?
Northside, Warner Robins. It's going to be a thriller.
All right, welcome back, McConnell Talbert Stadium, Warner Robins and Northside again. It's Warner Robins' home game. That's why they are cheering behind us this year. The principals kind of have an agreement. Whoever's home game is the one that will supply.
Well, they have their banner hanging off the press box.
They do have. You can see it right there behind you, right over your shoulder.
Listen to this band, would you? Well, they're just getting started. I'm going to let them warm up.
They have been working. Mr. Hal, he's been here over 20 years now. He's the band director, and they said they start practicing in July.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready. Yeah.
July. Man, in this heat. It's amazing. Hey, listen, we had a hashtag battle that you might have known about that's been going on through the week on Twitter, and the kids like to get involved with all of this. It was Warner Robins versus Northside, like the game. It was hashtag Demons 13, hashtag Eagles 13.
Oh.
And we don't have the graphic just yet, but apparently Northside won that Twitter battle with the hashtag battle.
Oh, okay. All right, before we get to that, let's talk about some of the other big matchups. Not Northside Warner Robins, not the only big one tonight as we kick off a new season. Among the other matchups of note, you got Howard and Westside, of course. That'll take place at the Edna 4 Sports Complex. You can say hi to Ben. He'll be at that one.
I'll be there.
Defending state champion John Millage hosts Trinity Christian. That one kicks off at 8 o'clock. I'll be at that one. Jonathan Perez will be in the Shamrock Bowl. Tattnall County plays at Dublin. And I'll also be double dipping. I'll be watching GMC and Troutland. Will also travel to the Grove. Mike Birchfield will watch Dooley County and Crisp County. Suzanne's off to Cochrane. Vaughn Lassiter leading Bleckley County onto the field against Clinch County. Windsor and Westwood play tonight. Jeff Vinton will be at that one. We'll also look back at the Corky Kell Classic from Thursday night. And we're also highlighting Northgate and veterans. Mr. Collinsworth will be at that one. Highlight scores and more tonight on Football Friday Night, 11:35.
Jones Zone picks a little bit different this year. We're only featuring one game in our. Which graphic is this, Brian?
This will be the hashtag graphic.
Jones Zone. Going to Jones Zone.
Oh, Ben.
The team. Now look at this. Frank and I picked Jones
Yes,
County
sir.
last night. We're on the board with a win right there.
We are undefeated.
You can see Northside, Warner Robins, Howard, Westside, Crispin, Dooley, our featured four here for the Football Friday Night crew picks.
Yeah.
Northside, Warner Robins, the Jones Zone.
Oh, look, they've obscured you.
I know I'm behind the time and temp bug.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
That's me. The hashtag battle we mentioned it a moment ago. Northside did win over Warner Robins with the Twitterverse out there over the week. So
we do like Twitterversing.
There we go. 54%.
That was close, though. We like it.
Yeah. All right, coming back in a little bit, we're taking a look at the weather for tonight. We know it's going to be hot, but what about storms? That can delay a game. We'll see if there are any in the future. That's on the way.
And this is home. Stay with us. Rock and R right there.
Nice.